Hey, Miss Dio, Slappy Slapster. Here I come. Get my other gadget ready, y'all. Let's get my gadget ready so I can be watching with y'all. Yeah, gotta get to the bless too. Here we go. Okay, y'all, here I go. Let me get the music. Welcome everybody to my midday was brunch time here, y'all. 10:53. I completed my breakfast and everything. Got on the phone with my son. The skating party is not today, it's next week, which is fine because I am a last minute person. So it gives me all the week to take my time. I find something for my beautiful 9-year-old queen, just turned, my grandbaby turned 9 years old. Please like as y'all come in, wherever, share and everything because y'all see where I'm at. And I told y'all we'll mostly be coming over here when I have some news stories that I want to speak on. I got a couple news stories that was sent to me. Somebody want me to speak on, and I'm going to do that. Now, I think the first one, y'all, that I'm going to speak on, I know y'all see my title, and being that, people be saying, well, sometimes they want to hear positive, they want to hear some different stories sometimes, which I always have tried to incorporate stories. I would do my stories first, then I would get to the YouTube. But I think now I'll just split it up. Come over here. Now, not to say every blue moon, I might have to drop a little shade or something. I don't know. But it's this story I hear that is very interesting. And thank you for sending this one to me. Miss Theo sent me this. And I want to read it. But you guys all welcome to send me stories that y'all interested in. And we can, read it and discuss it if you want to. I'll drop the link if y'all want to be discussing other stuff. That's how we do it. So I don't expect everybody to want to watch this, but y'all can catch the replay after y'all get through with y'all woo banging videos or whatever else that y'all do today. Okay, because I'm gonna get back to that after this. I'm gonna search the streets for a minute since I found out it's skate party for my grandbabies not today. So let me get to the first story. Now it's about this nun. This nun admits to stealing over $835,000 from her school to help finance her gambling habit. The feds said that. Isn't that something, you guys? Slappy, Shiny Franklin, Miss Gerald. Okay. A now retired nun will plead guilty to wire fraud and money laundering charges for stealing more than $835,000 for gambling and other personal expenses from the Southern California school that she ran, federal prosecutor said. So you know how they have these Catholic schools, and you have the nuns in there. I remember on our route walking to elementary school, we always pass by the Catholic school children as they're walking to their school, which is a Catholic school. But anyway, Mary Margaret, I think it's Kripper, K-R-E-U-P, or Cupper. No, I can't pronounce it, Sir King. A 79-year-old Los Angeles resident violated her vow of poverty during a 10-year period in which she pocketed tuition money, fees, and charitable donations intended for St. James Catholic School in Torrance, California, according to plea agreement with the attorney U.S. Office for the Central District of California. She was principal for nearly 3 decades. Cappers or Coopers, or however you pronounce it, Krupers, attorney Mark Bryan said Thursday that his client was very remorseful and, when confronted, accepted full responsibility for what she had done and cooperated completely with law enforcement and the archdiocese. What do they call them people? Archdiocese, Archdiocese. Isn't that the higher person over there, over her in the Catholic school? Well, y'all knew I'm talking about archdiocese, whatever. But she's 79 years old. Of course, she's coming clean. She waited till she got up in age to feel guilty. Is that what you're saying? Bryan said in a statement that Kripper became a nun at 18 and dedicated her life to helping others and educating children in their archdiocesan schools, however you pronounce it. But I had heard tales about that years later. I used to always wonder about the nuns because they say the nuns, sacrificed themselves to God, and they stayed virgins, they stayed pure. But then years later, you heard that those ladies, most of them were lesbians. Okay, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Okay. Unfortunately, later in her life, she has been suffering from a mental illness that clouded her judgment and caused her to do something that she otherwise would not have done. He added, she is very sorry for any harm she has caused. Now, the mental illness clouded her judgment. When? In her younger years? She's sorry now that she's 79. Anyway, she will be arraigned July 1st. Since NN has requested comment for Los Angeles, the Archdiocese. Y'all, I don't know. 79 years old. They're going to be saying she has mental problems. She can't stand up in court. She's 79. But they ain't say that about Bill Crosby. About his age, he had illnesses no matter what he did. That lady swindled all this money over decades. Now she's suffering from mental illness, and she done something that she wouldn't have done. Well, you telling me all those years ago she was suffering mental illness as well? Cooper was charged too with 1 count of wire fraud and 1 count of money laundering, federal prosecutor said. Under the agreement, she pleaded guilty, carry to the charges, which prosecutors say carry a maximum 40-year federal prison sentence. Now, you know that lady ain't going to no prison. Anyway, during her 28 years as president, she oversaw the funds that the school received, including cash checks for tuition, fees, donations, according to plea agreement. Krupa signed signatory on a pair of credit union accounts, a school savings account, and a convent account to pay for living expenses for herself and others, and none at the school, the plea agreement said. But Cropper fraudulently diverted checks and cash intended for the school into 2 accounts she controlled to pay for expenses that the order would not have approved, much less paid for. including large gambling expenses incurred at casinos and certain credit card charges, according to the agreement. To conceal the scheme, Cooper falsified monthly and annual school finance reports, the agreement said. By falsifying these reports in this way, defendant Cooper lured St. James School and the administration into believing the school's finances were being properly accounted for and its financial assets properly safeguarded, which in turn allowed defendant Cooper to maintain her assets, control of the school's finances and accounts, and thus to continue operating the fraudulent scheme, the agreement said. 79 years old, all of a sudden she got a conscience, and now she's all of a sudden at 79 years old having mental issues and done something that she otherwise wouldn't have done. So those decades she was having mental issues and otherwise wouldn't have done that. Now she's going to get away with this. Now, do y'all think if it was a black woman finally getting caught, are they going to worry about 79 years old mental issues, or is she still going to go through a court procedure? Now, I got to be following up on this. Over 10 years ending with her retirement in September 2018, Krupp admitted in the agreement to embezzling all that money, $835,339 to be exact, the agreement said. Now, this story came out on the 6th of this month. And it just now talking about it. So I don't know how she got away with it for years. So that's one of the stories, y'all. Interesting, I must say. Interesting. So now the second story, y'all. Let me get to it. It's a protest, evidently. This came out June 6th as well. Erupts over a black man killed by Minnesota police, aka deputies. So anyway, two members of a U.S. Marshal Task Force fatally shot Winston Boogie Smith Jr. while he was inside a parked vehicle, authorities said. Now, I didn't even hear this one. This was sent to me. This is another black man that got shot down this year, June 6, 2021. Protesters faced off with officers in Minneapolis early Saturday over the shooting death of a black man by members of the U.S. Marshal Task Force. Anybody heard about that one? Because usually when something happens like that and there's a big protest going on, we hear about that. Anyway, photos from the scene following a vigil for Winston Boogie Smith Jr., 32, showed dumpster files in the street and a line of officers standing guard. It was the second night of protest in response to the fatal shooting Thursday in Minneapolis' uptown neighborhood. Police said 27 people were arrested in the protest and 26 accused of rioting, and one facing a weapons charge. No injuries were reported. Some businesses sustained damage, police said, but we don't care about the businesses sustaining no damage. Another black man was killed. This is kind of under the radar, and what I mean by that is not worldwide, states or all spread across the states, because I didn't hear about this in the same manner that we heard about George Floyd. Authorities said Friday that Smith was wanted on a weapons violation and fired a gun before two deputies shot him while he was inside a parked vehicle. Now, members of the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force were trying to arrest him on a warrant for allegedly being a felon in possession of a gun. Family and friends described Smith as a father of three who was often harassed by police. They are demanding transparency in the investigation, have asked that anyone might have a video footage to come forward. Wow. Then they want to go on to talk about police said some people vandalized buildings and stole from the businesses after the shooting Thursday. 9 people were arrested on possible charges, including suspicion of riot, assault, arson, and damage to property. The fatal shooting comes as Minneapolis has been on edge since the death of George Floyd over just a year ago in the fatal shooting of Dante Wright by an officer in nearby Brooklyn Central in April. Wow, y'all. Another one. Now, they have a 3-minute video up here we finna listen to. Then I'm gonna drop my link if anybody interested on speaking on any of this. Hey, Shanice, Michelle A, Miss Conspiracy, Juice Box. Because when I'm reading, talking, I don't speak. But hey, y'all. Now let's see what's going on. What they saying. It's a 3-minute video we finna hear. Here we go.
In the Minneapolis neighborhood, where a man was shot and killed by law enforcement earlier this week. Last night, demonstrators used dumpsters and cars to block off West Lake Street and Girard Avenue South. Minneapolis police say officers arrested 27 people. The protests are over the shooting death of 32-year-old Winston Smith. Members of a federal fugitive task force shot him Thursday afternoon. State investigators say that Smith fired his gun from inside his car and that they had a warrant for his arrest. They also say body cameras were not rolling. Smith's family and community members say without that video, they don't have a clear picture of what happened. Our Caroline Cummings is live in Minneapolis tonight and has more on why authorities say that video doesn't exist. Caroline.
Good evening, Aaron. So earlier, dozens of protesters gathered here on Lake Street outside of the parking ramp where this incident all happened just a few days ago. And their call for the third night in the row is the same. They want more answers and any video beyond that initial statement from the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension that said the U.S. Marshal, members of the U.S. Marshals Task Force shot and killed Winston Smith when he fired at law enforcement during an arrest attempt. And protesters say that they want more evidence to piece together what happened. A memorial on the parking ramp where Winston Smith
I don't believe the man was sitting in the car and then just shot and just set the car. But let's continue.
Killed still stands 3 days later. Calls of protesters reignited Saturday night, seeking more details about what happened leading up to shots fired. Winston's brother, Keydell Smith, has the same plea.
You cannot hide. You can't hide anymore. Claiming that you're the U.S. Marshals, the BCA, and that you can't release evidence, you won't be able to hide for long.
The Bureau of Criminal Apprehension says there's no video from body cameras or squad car video because the U.S. Marshal Service currently does not allow the use of body cameras for officers serving on the task force involved in this incident. But the Department of Justice changed that policy last fall and allows federal task forces to wear them. And the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Minnesota confirmed that as of February of this year, implementation began. It's unclear where that process stands today. The BCA released this statement to WCCO saying, quote, as to why that is or why the USMCS has not phased in the new policy for this task force, you will need to ask them and the U.S. Attorney. That's their decision.
Somebody's seen something, and I know you did. It's too many windows over here, and it's too many people at this restaurant. Somebody saw something. Somebody heard something.
WCCO found one camera on the parking ramp pointed in the direction of where the shooting happened Thursday afternoon. Here's what it looks like from that vantage point.
But anyway, girl,
camera.
I mean, y'all, this is it. Now,
and
I don't know why they not wearing their body cams. Maybe because when they do their little dirt, they don't want nobody to see. They implemented that change a year ago. They said they don't know why as of right now in February when they implemented, why they not wearing their body cams. Maybe they don't want nobody to see. They got one camera, so that's the brother speaking out, saying that there's a lot of buildings around with restaurants and high-rise buildings. Somebody saw something. But like I say, this, far as I'm concerned, is kind of quiet compared to George Floyd, because I didn't know nothing about this one. You're right, Shani. Something is not right. Now, all of a sudden, they the only branch of law enforcement. The marshal is the only ones not wearing body cams. Nobody knows nothing at all. And he's setting his car and fire one shot at the officers. And then they all open up fire. No, something wrong with that picture. So thanks for sending me this. If anybody want to speak on it, they can, because you know I'm doing my little 30-minute video here. Welcome y'all that here that said they want to hear something positive, which is positive, but it's also a tragedy. But what they mean by that, sometimes we need to get away from the other rah, so to speak. But anyway, but to those that's going to watch the replay, feel free to comment in my comment section of what you feel about these. Now I'm going to drop the link if anybody want to speak on it. Yeah, and thank you, Ms. Theo, for the stories. Let me move on for them. Yeah, I mean, it's just a shame. Every time you turn around, well, a black man is getting shot down dead by the police. Do we ever hear stories about Caucasians get shot down? I'm quite sure some are somewhere, but it must not be uh, as much as we hear about when a black man gets shot down. I think that they harassed him, like they say he was always arrested because he was a known felon. And sometime in those small towns or whatever, if they know somebody that has a record that they're a small felon, they will harass them. If they ain't got nothing to do, oh, there's a ninja over there. Let's have some fun today and harass him. Because you heard they say he was always getting harassed because he was a known felon there. That's no reason to arrest. He probably trying to go straight. Okay, juice box. Now you see, I read that whole story. They did not say nothing about a woman being in the car. Ain't that something? So it's an uppity area. Wow. And I read the whole story. They didn't even speak on nobody being in the car. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. But anyway, y'all, we're going to keep checking up on that one too. You know, because like I said, that one kind of under the radar. Nobody really knew, but well, I didn't. I didn't know nothing about that one. I don't think none of y'all did. Not really. A lot of us didn't know anything about that. I don't understand why the marshals were in the uptown area. It's not an area where you need them. Oh, really? But it is close to where George Floyd was killed. Wow. Maybe they was there because they was following him around and they wanted to know why Ninja is driving through an uppity area, so to speak. I don't know. But all I know is it was wrong for him to get gunned down like that. Now that's another story, but it's dealing with something that got to do with history. I don't know if anybody interested in history, so to speak. I'm just going to touch on it real quick. But if y'all want to talk about that, we can talk about that too as well. Let me see if I can find it. It has something to do with back in the day. Works began to remove body of KKK leader from Memphis Park. I think this is symbolic of where we are heading as a country, said the leader, the organization that owns the park, holding Nathan Beckford Forest remains. Workers on Tuesday began removing the body of a former slave trader, Ku Klux Klan leader, and Confederate general from a park in Memphis, Tennessee. So evidently a Ku Klux Klan leader body was buried. They're digging it up. They want to get rid of that part of the memorial. The remains of Confederate Lieutenant General Nathan Beckford Forrest and his wife Mary will be moved to a museum dedicated to the Confederacy after an out of court agreement which reached last year between the local chapter of the Sons of Confederate Veterans and the nonprofit Memphis Green Space, which owns Health Science Park local station. Who cares about what they're doing with his white body? I think they need to leave it buried. The park, which was contained Forrest's tomb since the start of the 20th century, was previously named after the late racist leader and featured a statue of him on a horse. Both tributes were removed within the last 8 years. Who cares? But I'm glad they're removing such stuff. I am glad that they're removing that. If anybody interested in that too, let me see where y'all can find that at. Those of you that enjoy that history of that era back then when you had those racist Ku Klux Klan people around. Well, U.S. News is talking about it. If somebody can, I got this also from Mr. If somebody interested in that, you could drop the link in there. But I just thought I'd throw that out there because she sent me the story and I said I'll speak on it briefly. But now they're putting it to the Confederate Museum. But I don't think none of us interested, but then you still got a lot of slave owner children and grandchildren, and that's their history. So maybe they'll care about it. Yeah, they care about it. Yeah, so I don't care. I thought it was strange about the marshals being involved. Yeah, I'm gonna drop my link. We can discuss it for a minute, y'all, so they don't have to wear cams. Well, they know the rules were changed. They were supposed to wear them. starting in February this year for sure. But they not wearing them. Nobody had on the cam. You heard the news lady saying she don't understand that. She don't know why either. None of us know why. I think they don't want to wear them because of situations like this. Sad part, let's see what you say. Sad part, they would pay that man's family and move on. Yes, you're right about that, Shanice. They thought they was gonna pay off was the George Floyd's family the $1 million and move on. So I'm glad that person got Chauvin or whatever then got found guilty. You know what, Sean? You know what? And that's why the brother saying somebody got to come forward. And that's true. It's too many buildings around from what I was seeing for somebody not to know something, but maybe people are afraid. But eventually, somebody anonymous is going to come up, especially if they start talking about a reward. Somebody's seeing something, and they got just that one camera in the area, just that one camera in the area. They don't have on body cams. That's suspicious right there. I'm almost at my 30 minutes, y'all. I need to do news stories over here. Not only that, y'all, I really want this channel for different stuff. I really do. Now, I'm going to drop this link if anybody want to speak on these stories. Because I see a few of y'all interested in it. Or you can call in, speak on it, whatever way you want to do it. If it's but you're right, there's no evidence. But the police does, the war is messed up there. Wow. There's the link if anybody interested in this. If not, I'm gonna move on after my 30 minutes. I'm trying to make sure Blessed too stay over here in the aneurysm too. Y'all go ahead and like this. If y'all like this story and y'all decide y'all want to bless me and y'all like what I'm continuing to bring y'all in the mornings, and you feel like you want to just drop me something for my stories or because you like me or just in general, there's my information right there by my avatar. You can also share this, like this. If anybody new see this up on the replay or anything, subscribe. Okay. I don't see any of my mods over here, but let me make this mod real fast so you can drop the link if you can. Because like I said, I don't know if let me see. Am I on the right place? Yeah, right here. Okay. Let me do this real fast. There we go. Still, I'll put you up there as a moderator. Oh, I see you in the back too. And anybody else that wants to be one, you can let me know. Because see, all of us can't always be here. I get that. Everybody got different schedules. And today's Saturday, people busy. I don't expect for nobody to just be hanging around over here on my channel on a Saturday. Because I really thought I was going to be gone too because of my grandbaby today. Hey, girl.
Hey.
Say more.
Oh, I was talking about the story about the nun. I had looked into it when I had sent it to you. I had looked further into it because evidently she was initially charged 2 years ago, and then this is when she's finally having a plea agreement. And then they say on July 1st she's supposed to have her arraignment. But yeah, she only confessed because they did, after she had retired, they did an audit and found it and went to her. And the RDC, they decided they didn't want to press charges, but the state took over.
So how did you pronounce that? Because you see, I had a hard time pronouncing like a dude named Archdiocese.
The Archdiocese,
Archdiocese. Okay, I was close. Yeah, but now why did they wait till she retired? Evidently, they've been knowing this.
They didn't call her. She was covering it up. She was having other nuns burn the books when they would do audits. She had 2 other nuns that's with her that was accomplice. Only one of them, they tried to charge, but she made a plea or something, I guess, to testify about what old girl was doing. So she not going to get arraigned, but it was like her and 2 other nuns.
Wow. But it's convenient that they finally caught her with it at age 79 while she had mental issues, because this been going on for decades.
Well, they said they can only go back the last 10 years is when they first found the problem.
So if they found it the first time 10 years ago, but this is what I'm saying. This is convenient. They found it 10 years ago. They just now been able to do something about it because this story is new. This came out in 10.
It just came out because the church did an audit of their books. And then they found something funny in 2018 when she retired. So they went back, and all they can find on her is 10 years of fraud right now.
So I don't think they're gonna take this no further though, because they're gonna say she's too ill to stand trial. She's
Yeah.
79 with mental
But look
issues.
at Bill Cosby. He could barely see and barely stand when he got on trial.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? That's the white privilege. She's too old to stand trial. Now, had that been an old black lady, what do you think is going to happen is swindling all that money? When she stand trial, see, age don't matter when you commit a crime. From what they themselves say, age don't matter. The only way she got to really be insane and mentally out of her mind to not be able to stand trial. She's understanding everything that's going on because she agreed to a plea bargain.
Well, you know they gonna spin it that she had a victimless crime.
I don't care. There's a lot of white. Look at oh wow, no, it wasn't the welfare queen, because there were other black churches in the news. Who I have to look that up so I can compare this to this when I come back on Monday morning. When I come on Blessed too, there were elder black people that did crimes of money. They serving federal time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's that white privilege.
Yeah.
Wow. So what about the other one with this guy? It stayed
But it
under the
made me
radar just a
think.
little bit.
Which one? Oh, yeah. It made me think a little bit though, just real quick about the nuns. That the ones that work in like the school or whatever, they get an insurance plan in retirement because they work for an actual school that got a partnership, even though it's a Catholic school. But the ones that say like the at the churches and actually just stay in the convents or whatever, they don't have no retirement plan, no. So when the insurance, so I guess when they get older, if they don't stay at the convent, they don't have nowhere to live on their own or nothing like that. So it's like, that's something to look at because they don't have retirement plans. They don't have nothing like that.
Well, they dedicate that to their life. They stay single. They stay virgins. They say they married to Jesus. So I spoken that a little bit. I used to walk by the Catholic school all the time. All the teachers, which are nuns, live at the convent. They lived on the grounds of that Catholic school, the big old beautiful building. And it's where they housed the nuns at. And the school was there, and the kids used to walk on the other side of the street, going to the Catholic school. We used to be on the other side of the street, going to our school. And then they would start off at this big, beautiful church first. All the children, they would go in there, say their prayer, then walk 4 blocks up to their Catholic school. Later down the years, as I got older, I found out the nuns that's married to Jesus and that they're virgins and they dedicate their life to Jesus. That's the only man. They were all lesbians. A big thing came out about that years ago.
Yeah, they
they married Jesus. They didn't want a man. They wanted Jesus. Huh?
I said, yeah, out there where you are, especially that those Catholic schools are really more popular than they are in the South. They're not as big down here.
Yeah, they were big. They had a big old beautiful cat, and it was right on the corner. Catholic corner was the regular elementary school, and there's one street we would all walk down. And then the Catholic school changed the kids to walk down another street because the Catholic school started complaining to the school district that the children that's walking to school would bully and harass the Catholic kids after they leave the church and walk to their school, which is that big old building where the school. They had a Catholic school, and that's where the nuns lived at, and that's what the school, the cafeteria, everything was. But those ladies wasn't interested in nuns. You know what I'm saying? They was married to each other really behind the scenes, to tell the truth about it. You're right, Shiny. Even the preachers, what did they call them? The priests. They were all men, they were all gay. Now, y'all know a lot of that came out years later. And then the men were molesting the boys. Y'all remember all them stories that came out? So, they wanted Jesus and each other. That's what the ladies wanted. So, anyway, now this last story, I only hit on it a little bit because I don't know if anybody really interested about this Ku Klux Klan member. Who cares about them moving his body over there, to the museum? But also history. Some people are interested to know how that was back then. How they praised them and made big monuments, praising them and all that.
I just thought that was wild to dig somebody's great body up like that for that.
Yeah. Because they don't want the cemeteries around no more. That's too much racism. They're trying to move away from that, just like with the books, just anything. But they're not trying to erase it completely, because that's the case, they wouldn't put it in a museum. Now that
Mm-hmm.
no museum, I think my granddaughter everybody need to visit. Now that she just want to know some history of how we were treated, and I say we, our ancestors, everything. That's cool. We all need
Mm-hmm.
to know some history, and we all do. But yeah, so I just mentioned that in passing. So yeah, the Catholic people they was doing the most before anybody. They hush up until what was this in the 80s when everything started coming out. I'm not for sure, but
All that molestation.
all of them molesting the young boys. The little how
Mm-hmm.
they call them choir boys, molesting
Mm-hmm.
priests, molesting and the nuns. They were marrying each other. They just didn't want a man. So believe me, you nuns dedicated their life to Jesus. They needed to stay pure. Them people, them ladies weren't pure.
Mm-mm.
How you? I don't care if they had a man or a woman. That ain't being pure.
At all.
Yeah. So that's a good start story. So those were some very good stories, though. So y'all, whoever got some good stories they want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, we can always do that. Because I started to talk about one of them this morning before I got into the YouTube stuff this morning. I said, no, I'm going to save that, put that separate. And that's what I'm doing. So whenever y'all see me come on Blessed Walking, I'm not gonna be messy. I do want some news stories, you know, and because I watch the news all the time. So, and then I think that like yesterday I made my little popcorn. I think I'm gonna start trying to do some smoothies, but I'll have to come on here first before I do the coffee thing, because I would drink a smoothie. Not I do it for lunch or breakfast when I get off Blessed in the mornings. But I'm always keep that schedule. But like I said, I'm trying to find a Pacific time to always come on at the same time on here, like I do in the Blessed Walking situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know for sure yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the schedule because I'm so spontaneous. Something might come up today, even though the party ain't going on. You know, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
My baby might want to come over today or whatever. You know, if she do, maybe I might still just do something special and then have the big thing like we planning for the skating ring next week. You know, because we want to make sure all our little cousins and everybody can be there because it'll be some grown adults there too. You know, so that's why we
Mm-hmm.
planning it. My son kind of he kind of doing it kind of big. It'll be for the children, but of course us adults will be there, you know, doing whatever we're gonna do. So that's what he want to do, because he wants his little cousins to come from out of town too. Her little
Oh,
cousin,
yeah, that'd be
yeah,
nice.
he do. Yeah, he want to give her a nice party. And since school is out, you know, they can come. The ones from Las Vegas that's close, you know, then there's some in the Bay Area in the Valley, which is Stockton, Sacramento, those surrounding areas, you know. So even on the mother's side, so because they haven't seen it, you know, since she's a bigger now. Most of them saw her since a baby. So he said he'd just give a party because all of them want to do something because their kids' school is out too, so now they can travel and take little vacations. Okay, so basically that's what it is. So anything else anybody want to speak on? At this point, I'm through with the original commentary. We can discuss anything else. You know, I don't know if anything otherwise going on here on the YouTube streets. Didn't really peek around.
It seems a little quiet. I know Tim was live a little bit ago.
I'm looking now, so I think he's still live. So the problem with
Oh, no,
owning a
I think
house.
it
Oh,
ended.
okay, because I see his title says the problem with owning a house is question mark. They still doctors. I don't see the problem on the house either. Now, Tito, I watch her sometime. I don't know if a lot of y'all like to watch, but I like to watch her and her family. That's all it really be about.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah,
haven't
I
watched
watch her
it, but maybe
sometimes.
a couple times. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes when I say I ain't gonna watch the Rara today, I just put it on and watch her while she going to work at night driving on Uber or something like that. If I woke. So and she got all kind of head bonnets, and she wear her bonnets when she drives. She got beautiful bonnets.
Oh, yeah. She wears a lot of different bonnets.
To match everything. Somebody had sent her a bunch of beautiful ones months ago. I was
So
watching her
Monique,
unbox.
yeah, the bonnet thing, Monique, she made another update because she got a speaking of how people can make bonnets gorgeous and beautiful and even part of their culture and things.
Right.
She made another update saying I've been getting all kinds of emails and I'm not talking about my beautiful sisters who wear the hijabs or whatever the Muslim headwear or my beautiful African sisters because those fabrics and scarves y'all beautiful. I'm not talking about that, but y'all know who I'm talking about. The ones that's not combing their hair and throwing the bonnet on, the ones that's also wearing the slippers and everything else. She's like, but y'all know that's not who I'm talking about. I shouldn't even have to say that, but because I've been getting so many people hurt and offended, y'all know that's the last thing I would do. So she did this big old PR thing because people was writing her in saying, hold up, wait a minute, some of these bonnets and stuff got jewels on it that cost more than people's darn car. Like,
Well, she's trying to clean that up because so many people been coming in after her. Those bonnets are beautiful. I see a lot of young ladies, middle-aged ladies, and older ladies out shopping with beautiful bonnets on. And then the
Hmm.
younger one, the middle-aged, might even have on a matching top or something, or shoes or whatever to match their bonnet because they are stylish. That's the style. It might be a fad. It might fizzle out. And I can see her. She was talking about the little thin bonnets that people used to put on back in the day to cover up their thing. I have those. I'm gonna show y'all one. I can see if she talking about one of them raggedy ones.
Yeah, she's
But not
talking
like
about
you
the
got like
Dollar
got on
Tree ones
now.
that you just use to throw on
And she
real
only
quick
trying to clean
at
it up
night.
because everybody better know you on the line. You don't know what the hell you talking
Hmm.
about. People wear bonnets. Now I can see if she talking about one made like this. Let me show y'all. People put these kind on to sleep in, to put over their rollers and whatever, but they don't wear it out in public. You know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
they do,
This
Miss
is the
Bliss.
kind. I'm gonna show y'all. Let me put you down for a minute. Show them. I think now I can
Okay.
understand this one right here. Now this is the kind you sleep in and don't wear out in public. Right here. Can y'all see this? See these old fashioned ones? Let me see if I got that in there. It's thin. It got the ruffles. People will put these on over their hair rollers, braids, whatever, and sleeping. Kind I got on. I see all kind of ladies all different color these matching their outfits. So just shut the hell up, Monique. You know, now you want to clean up. How you know if somebody's hair is not combed under there or not? So you kind of clean it up. So those are the kind I will wear to bed, the kind on my head, and the ruffle ones I'm gonna get. I know. I don't wear no. Can you hear me, Miss Theo?
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, cause she don't know. She to me, everybody been going at her.
No,
Okay,
because they
y'all
are
know.
making them now to go out. Because I mean, they making those ones kind of like what you got on. I mean, I've been seeing them with writing on them. You wouldn't be having
That's
all them
right.
rhinestones on at
That's
home.
right.
Yeah,
They put designs even on these kind of people wear them out with the match with their clothes. The ones I just showed y'all. Now I can see somebody out like that, one of these old fashioned ones. You
but
know what
they
I'm saying?
do
I
it,
had
Miss
this
Bliss.
when I
They
got
do
my
do
hair
that, Miss
braided. I want to
Bliss.
cover and go to sleep, and I didn't want the braids to get all messed up in the middle of the scalp between the braids. You would put this on, and you don't wear this out though, where I can see that kind. But she's
But they
talking about
do it.
overall the bonnets, the stylish bonnets that's coming out. People wear these. I see them all the time, and they be looking nice. So I don't think nothing. And I don't see with no house shoes on. They got slippers look like that though, but I don't be saying that. So she cleaning it up now. I ain't talking about my beautiful sisters. You was talking about them. Not only that, you should have even brought it up. As y'all can see, what I have up here on my screen, Lady Nika is going live. Next, we're gonna be over in the den, or we're gonna be on
Okay.
reloaded, because the den is the wood banging. From what I said, wood banging. Is that right, Lady Nika? The other one is
Woo
story time.
banging.
So possible. Which one we gonna be on, girl? What we talking about? Because I came on Blessed too to do my news stories. So y'all continue to get them stories coming in. Shanice says she don't wear them out, but she got a bad day. But Shanice, if you were to get some of the stylish ones that's in style and all like that coming on, like right now, what you got on a hairband on your avatar, and you look beautiful on here, would you wear one of those kind to match your clothes, the kind that they making, like Miss Theo said, you start to see some designs and everything on it, flower ones, all kind of ones with different of the pastel, one with the different color designs, so forth and so forth. We're gonna be in the den, so that means it's gonna be the den. Yeah, well, you can do the wood bag or whatever goes. I'm assuming. I mean, would you wear one of the stylish ones to match shoes or whatever, Miss Theo?
Yeah, I would wear one of the stylish ones. I don't personally wear like even hats. I'm just not my hair. I just don't like
Yeah,
hat covers. But yeah, but the problem is that Miss Bliss, you'd be surprised. Some people do go around in them sleeping bonnets. When I was in a school system, when I was teaching last year, I would have parents come in there to see about a meeting in one of those with the rollers in there and high shoes on. So
right.
it's like, but it's not everybody. Like Monique was, I think it was just over exaggerating. And she was at the airport and people was getting ready to go on long flights. So I just think she was kind of over exaggerating that.
Yeah, she was. She was. But
Well,
anyway,
okay.
thanks for the news stories, y'all. And went
Oh, you
over
welcome.
14 minutes over my 30 minutes, but that's fine because it got
All
interesting. So, like I said, y'all, thank you for the stories. And I'm getting ready to get on up out of here, y'all. We're gonna go over there to the den. I think it's immediately after. Grab y'all snacks. I should have maybe some popcorn, but I'll do that for whatever if I catch something later on.
Okay, I'll see you on the den.
Okay. Thank you
Bye-bye.
very much for coming over. I'm finna play my way up on out of here. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming over. For those of y'all that said y'all wanted to watch something different, here I am. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm positive. I always got a song in my mind. So we're going to dance on out of here. Well, we're going to listen to some pleasant music. I'm out of here. I'm going to grab my stack, and then I'm coming over to the den. Y'all can drop the diamonds, please. We're going to the den. I think it's immediately after. Are you already set up, Lady Nika? Type me yes or no. Are we already set up over there? Are we set up? Here we go. Let's go. Hit the like on the way out. Share. That like on the way out. We going to the den, y'all. We going to the den, y'all. So she already there. Okay. Thank you, Shanice. Let me hop on over there. Let me pick up this gadget. Let me hop on over there. Hey. Doop, doop. Ooh, I don't see you yet. There we go. To lose.